Last year, Josh and I spent a month living on an island in the Outer Hebrides. Nowadays, neither of us fly for environmental reasons, so we choose relatively long stays like this around Europe over flying long haul for brief exotic holidays. Some friends that I've told about this reacted as if we're making this brave sacrifice. But the truth is that I feel like I'm experiencing much more of the world now than ever before. I found that what we've given up in distance travelled, we have more than made up for in depth of experience. I've been trying to learn how to be somewhere as fully as possible and noticing how that's different to just sightseeing. In this video of one day on Barra, I'll show you what I mean. Just after breakfast, we glimpsed a rainbow from the window, one vivid, bright and self-assured arc, and a fainter one just above it, both getting stronger by the minute. Not wanting to miss another moment of it, we ran outside in our pajamas. Running through the wind and the rain, chasing a double rainbow, was such an exhilarating way to start the day, and it really fired up my appetite for adventure. So we put on our waterproof jackets and got on our bikes. If Scotland taught us one thing, it's that you can't afford to postpone adventures for a dry day. We cycled over the dunes and whizzed along the beach. As someone who often experiences life through a camera lens, it's especially important to me to consciously take in my surroundings as more than just a sight, to participate in, not just witness my environment. Walking barefoot, immersing myself in the sea, finding ways to experience as fully as I can. I love lying down on the ground and closing my eyes. It might sound a little bit strange, but it really helps with tuning into my other senses and getting to know my environment from a different perspective, both literally and figuratively, grounding myself in the realness of the landscape that I'm getting to know. And then I explored a cave. We visited another beach full of boulders and rock pools to forage some seaweed for lunch. and quickly made a very energetic new friend, who annoyingly insisted on loudly defending us from the friendly seal that was swimming towards us. Luckily, he found a piece of kelp we could distract him with. And I really love that on a treeless and therefore stickless island, dogs play with whatever the ocean has to offer. We foraged for sea letters and for pepperdals, and keen to grab back our attention, guess who pushed our jar of pepperdals into the rock pool? Twice. And last but not least, we gathered sea spaghetti. And as always, we cut the seaweed instead of ripping it off the rock, and took a little here and there rather than stripping an entire area. Foraging is another great way of connecting to a place as more than a passing tourist. You're exploring with your taste buds, participating in the local ecosystem, and quite literally taking a tiny piece of the landscape into your body. Seaweed contains the essential nutrient iodine, and some of the iodine in my body today will have come from that Scottish seaweed I collected back then. We also explored the hidden world of colour, texture and fascinating creatures beneath the surface of the rock pools. We found something called sea spaghetti, and you can obviously tell why. And it is very surprising, but it actually tastes like pasta, both in in taste and texture. It's so similar to pasta, to like linguine. It's really tasty. I love it. I'm quite excited by it and want to forage more. By the time evening came around, the rain had finally cleared and we headed out for a sunset walk. We are at yet another abandoned house because Barra and Vatersay, the two islands that we're spending all of our time at the moment, just have so many beautiful old abandoned houses, quite like falling apart as you can see, but just stunning and right by the sea. Yeah, it's very exciting. I really love thinking about who would have lived here. You know, was it a home? Was it a community building? Was it something that animals maybe lived in? So let me show you around. In places like this, we get small glimpses into the lives of people who used to live on this island, who experienced all of this years before us. I examined what once was a fireplace and imagined people sitting in front of it, warming their feet on a cold day. as well as getting to know the locals from the past and the local animals. Getting to know the present day human locals is of course one of the best ways to discover the depth of a place. Because of the pandemic, I only got to talk to a few people, unfortunately, but I really hope to return in the future. If you enjoyed this video, liking and subscribing to my channel or signing up to my Patreon really helps me create more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.